So you're confident that this revenue reduction is a one-time event, and that's good. And I hope you have followed the injunction that you should never lie to your rabbi, priest, your doctor, or your lawyer. But if that's the case, if this truly is a one-time event, you feel confident of that. I think the question is, how do we make this into an opportunity? How do you benefit from this um, short-term downfall? And you mentioned an earnout, and let's be specific and let's talk about what an earnout is. And it's simply, right, it's simply the promise of value in the future at some specified time in the future upon the occurrence of certain events. So time, event, and value. And obviously, we want as big a possible value we can get for an easily accomplishable goal in a short period of time. It's that simple. And by the way, let me, before we get into the specifics of what you should be thinking about in terms of a counterproposal, your buyer is not unreasonable in the concern that it is expressing. Don't forget, you know much more about this business than anyone else in the world, and you have an interest, obviously, in assuring them that no, this is a one-time event. So let's remember that their position isn't unreasonable, isn't unusual, isn't unexpected. But let's keep in mind, given that, how do we take advantage of this situation? So, what's the event, right? Um, they are valuing your business on earnings, which is fine. A 6x multiple is fine, but your your achievement of certain events after your buyer buys this company has to be easily measurable and has to be something that your that aligns your interest with the new owner's interest. And an earnout, so a payment based on earnings, I don't think does that because there's too much opportunity for mischief. They would have, if you were to be paid a contingent amount upon earnings, your buyer would have an incentive to increase revenue, but but not necessarily increase earnings. So I think your interests are going to be aligned. You're going to have an easily measurable metric if your payout is based on revenue or diners or number of plates served, whatever you think is the appropriate measure. But again, something that's measurable and something that's as little as possible subject to manipulation by either party, really. And as a corollary to that, let's think about what controls, what checks on the behavior of the new owner you're going to need to protect your interest to make sure you have a real good chance of hitting that goal. So, what's the right time period? Again, this is one particular quarter that, because of bad weather, is down a little bit. In order to prove out your argument, you're going to have to agree, I think, that you'll take it for 1 year. You'll take some risks for 1 year after closing, so that the new owner can see that in the same quarter next year, those numbers are back up again, and you should be rewarded for that if they are. But I think given the seasonality of the business, the inherent seasonality of the business, and the fact that our argument is going to be, look, this was a one-time event, 1 quarter. I think a 4 quarter period is the appropriate length of time for the earnout. And then finally, how do we price this? Your offer right now is 6x, is a multiple of earnings, and that's fine. If you're receiving 6 times earnings in cash today, um, the contingent part of your consideration should be greater than 6 times earnings, right? Because you're taking event risk and you're taking the time value of money risk. The time value of money risk is easy, right? That's going to be easy to figure out. We can figure that out. The real issue though is how much of a premium should you receive for taking the risk and for proving out the fact that this earnings dip is one time and that that your business really is strong, and that's going to be a function of two things: what the metric is, what the revenue number is, and obviously what the payout is if you hit when you hit right when you hit that target. So those are the things you'll have to think about. I can give you some guidance in terms of a multiple or a premium for this delayed consideration, but those all those numbers are quantifiable and easy to get.